Sports arenas.
Oh boy.
Sounds like a fun topic, huh?
I'm representing the ladies.
You are representing the ladies. I'm representing Todd, who's on a well-earned vacation, and representing me is the one and only
Gibby!
Gibson Aguirre.
Howdy.
Howdy. So I'm sure we've all seen the news over the last few weeks with the announcements of two proposed new sporting arenas in the Dallas area. One for the Mavs and one for the Stars. So we thought it would be a fun little topic to dig into. What is going to be the kind of real estate perspective of what does this mean?
Impact.
Yeah, the impact. Like, what's this going to mean for people if and when these happen? It certainly looks as though they're going to happen one way or another. Whether or not they stay in the proposed locations is something that we'll learn as time goes on. So catch everybody up if you're not familiar. The Dallas Mavericks have a proposal to build a new multi-use area, including an arena, basketball arena, in the Valley View, the old Valley View Mall area that got blown up, torn down, 3+ years ago now. And so it's been nothing there. That's where the new proposal for that is. The new Stars proposal, which we have a little bit more detail on, including some renderings, which are pretty sweet, is going to be in the Gibson Stonebriar.
Willow Bend.
Duh. I always get those two mixed up.
It will now be referenced as the Bend.
Okay. So in the Willow Bend area, they're going to do some changes, and they're going to make some things. They're going to build some apartments, some condos, restaurants, and then a really cool looking arena there. So that's kind of the big viewpoint of what's going on. Now, on the Mav side of things, they're still under an option period, just like we have in residential real estate, where you go into contracts and you pay to have an option where you can get out of it for any reason you want during that period. Mavs are in that period of the option period now for the Valley View area to see if they actually want to go through with it. The other proposal was to do something at the old City Hall. It looks like that might not be the place that they end up doing it. So we'll see. No final deal has been announced yet on that. We've got city leaders, developers, we've got stakeholders. They're all pushing still for a downtown solution. I think a lot of people are like, I wouldn't mind it being a little further north. I live further north. It would make it a little bit easier for me if it was a little further north on both of these things. I think the actual city of Dallas would hate to lose the revenue that comes from all of that. We'll see what's going to happen. So what we do know is that right now the Valley View site is the main public possibility. But it is definitely important to know nothing's finalized, and that we're kind of going to see what happens as time progresses. Now, what I did was I went and looked at what happens in some of the other cities where this has been the case, where we've had new arenas built, where teams have even moved from one city to another city. So I took a look at places like in the Golden State Warriors. When they moved, we took a look at the proposal of the new Chicago Bears area, where they're looking even, I mean, they're moving from...
Head out of Chicago.
Exactly. So we actually have a coaching client who is very excited for that, because they're going to be really close to where the new proposal is, and we'll see, what happens there. But she's pretty excited about what could have come from that. We took a look at Oklahoma City Thunder, and their new one that they built when they moved. And so there's plenty of examples of places moving. And so we thought it'd be interesting to see what actually happens with all of that, right? Does it actually make much of an impact? The Rangers, they built the new stadium and things like that. So here's what we kind of found out was that the money actually doesn't change, right? People are going to spend money no matter where it is. So like that's always going to be the case. It's not a huge. It can have some economic impact, but it's not going to be as big as some people think if it stays within the same cities. One thing that I thought was interesting was it talked about land values, and the correlation that I was able to see is that within like 2 miles of the stadium is where you see the most land value increase. So property values kind of rise in those areas. But once you get past that 2 mile mark, you're not seeing as much of a impact as I think people would think. One of the things that I heard, and I actually talked to my mother-in-law, I was asking her what her thoughts are on Universal Kids opening soon. Not a sports arena, but a big thing that's opening up. And she was just like, traffic's going to be horrible. Like, it's not going to be great for traffic on the tollway. And they live close to the tollway. And so I think that's a real possibility, a real thought for people, that people may decide that they want to move out of these areas, like take the increase in value, but move out because they don't want to deal with the traffic. But Gibson, if I can jump to you, you're going to be within a few miles of the proposed new Stars arena. What are your thoughts?
I think it's good for property value regardless. I mean, I'll trudge through traffic. The 45-minute drive I have to a Mavs and or Stars game, I'm committed to the sport. Yeah.
Right.
I live 45 minutes away. That's part of it. Does the new proposal favor me now? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Because you're a fan.
yeah, if you're really about it, be about it. I used to prefer 8 o'clock puck drop versus a 7 o'clock game just because of traffic.
Yeah.
And that's me getting home at 1:30 a.m. Where in your right mind is that the reasonable thing to make decisions on? So it's like,
It's not.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, no, I mean, is it super close to me and it's going to be like a 9-minute drive? Yeah, I love that. I could bird scooter there from the house.
You could literally walk to the new place if you wanted to leave early enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. There's some other good things too. We're going to, for some retail and restaurants, there's going to be new opportunities for people. Now, does it mean that some of the ones close to the old arenas may not make it? It's possible, but that's kind of the case in the restaurant industry as a whole. But that's going to be, that's going to give opportunities for new folks. I think you're going to see, improvements in infrastructure that's going to be definitely around the Valley View area, because the roads are not great around there. And they're going to have to make changes, but they're going to have to make changes wherever they go. So I think that's probably a short-term pain, long-term gain, right? Is what we talk about in various different things. Yeah, the roadworks are going to be horrible for a little while, but they'll get better, and it's going to make it better for everybody. More hotels, more than likely going to pop up. Remind me if there was hotels in the drawings for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah. The multiple hotels. I mean, this is a 5-year plan. So
Right.
obviously the pain point is going to be long overdue.
They're in the current home until 2031.
2031. Yep. Is when the lease is up at American Airlines.
Yeah. So we're going to get more hotels, entertainment, mixed use development. It's all going to pop up in both these places, because that's what we've seen across the board in multiple other cities. That's the thing nowadays, is you build for multi-purpose. You don't just build for one thing. If you look at where the American Airlines Center is, yes, they built condos eventually. Yes, there's some restaurants and shops around there that they built, but it was not built as a package, right? So this is going to be one really cool package that we're going to get to be a part of. And so
Yeah, and I think that's something you see with stadium development for the most part, who's doing it right in the more recent history. When American Airlines was first built, we didn't have Victory Plaza. So
Right.
there wasn't a place to gather if you weren't buying a ticket to the sports event. There weren't restaurants immediately off of it. And so for those of you in DFW that have the chance to go to Texas Live before a Rangers game or before a Cowboys game, like that place is electric.
cool. It's really cool.
Like that is a attraction in itself. And so I think one thing that is working for the Mavs and the Stars in both of these developments is they have intentions to add something of that matter, the multi-purpose arena, to where both of these arenas are going to fit 20, 30,000 fans, but on top of that, another gathering place of 5 to 10 to where it's a hub. It's a place that people are chasing. It would make sense for you to go into the Willow Bend area or go into the Valley View area without even having a ticket. It's going to be a hub spot for restaurants, a place to take the kids and play.
Yep.
So I think it just creates environments that is going to be successful for both of these areas.
I think it's interesting too that there'll be a lot of similarities when it's all done, but they're also very different to begin with, right? Valley View, there's nothing there right now. Yeah. It's not there. Willow Bend, that whole area it's already fairly developed. I mean, it's developed. Like it's all of that whole area of Plano is all developed. It's going to be interesting how they both end up looking, I think, and the impact that's going to have for folks. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see what happens over the next five or so years, what changes they make, what gets approved, what doesn't get approved. I think it's going to be really, really a fun thing to look for.
If both of these projects happen, do you think that we're witnessing the next major shift of things moving to North Texas or from the center of gravity essentially, or are the teams simply following a trend that's already underway?
I think based on what I can find and based on my knowledge, based on being here for the last 10 years, it was about a decade ago we were talking and there was a lot of maps saying that Frisco was basically going to be the center of the Metroplex, right? That was going to be, when you looked at a map, you no longer looked at downtown Dallas as the center. You were looking, 20 miles north in Frisco, and that's now your center of the Metroplex. I think this is just a continuation of what we've been seeing with things moving further.
They're just responding to our people are moving further out, and so we need to sort of shift gears. I just think it's so sad and wasteful. What am I missing?
What do you mean wasteful?
These spaces. Why do we have so many arenas? And American Airlines is gorgeous.
It's old.
This show is brought to you by the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team, where we guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time. We also guarantee to help you buy a home and save at least $5,000 throughout the purchase process. Check out over 800 5-star reviews on Google. We'll get back to the show.
I mean, it is. When you compare it to new stadiums, it's old.
It is so nice.
It's old.
Do you want the reality TV show edition of what happened to Mom and Dad, aka the Mavs and the Stars?
I guess so.
Would that be helpful?
Sure.
So Mavs gained new ownership.
Yeah.
And they wanted nothing to do with sharing an arena. They didn't want to split it with a hockey team. That was not their interest. And so they started having conversations. They filed a lawsuit against the Stars because in the initial agreement back in the 90s, the Stars and the Mavs agreed that any headquarters that you would have present would be in the city of Dallas. That was part of the agreement. Well, the Stars headquarters is in Frisco. And so this is a 20-year dilemma, but they basically filed the lawsuit and said, hey, you're not in Dallas like the agreement originally said. And the Stars fought back to the Mavs and goes, well, under new ownership, technically your headquarters is in Las Vegas because of the Adelson.
Oh, right.
And so they fought. Now there's blood in the water. And essentially, we knew the lease was going to come up for both of these teams in 2031. But now all of a sudden the Stars said, all right, well, you don't want us. We're going to go make our hay.
Deuces.
And then within 24 hours, the Mavs go, oh, we also don't want American Airlines.
Oh, my gosh.
So there you go. That's the drama behind it all. And here we are.
Who will be there? It'll just be a concert venue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what it's going to come down to. You'll have probably WNBA games there consistently. But outside of that, I mean, it's still going to be a concert venue. But you have two tenants who don't want to be there.
What happens to people who bought suites and stuff?
They'll have the option more than likely to buy in the new facility.
Yeah, your relationship is going to carry with the organization. So like I'm a Star season ticket holder. I'm going to
Just a quick flex.
be grandfathered into the new arena. I mean, it's obviously going to have a price stipulation to it. But
Right. Yeah. I mean, and the reality is if you look at all sports, I mean, how old was the Rangers Stadium? The old one.
I'm still pissed about that.
Yeah, not that old.
Not that old, but
It all grosses me out.
Didn't have a roof on it though, right?
Yeah.
So you build a roof on it because you're going to get more people to go to day games when it's 105 degrees outside.
It's gross. I'm going to be the voice that says it's gross. I just think we are so greedy. But I don't know.
Well, but if I speak personally for myself,
Please.
We used to go to a lot of Mavs games. We had season tickets for a decade, half season tickets for a decade down there. I hated having to drive down for night games. We went to them. It was a beating. There was multiple games. We would leave the house at 5 p.m. And there was one time we didn't even make it to the game because every road was just jammed.
Yeah, that's awful.
I mean,
listen, I love going to the games. I think it's all so fun. Oh my gosh, my heart for our world.
I think you're trending in the right direction though, because it's not all about the sports. Like there's real estate tied into this. Like the developmental plan for what is coming to Plano, specifically with the Stars, is a 40-year plan. You know, it starts in 31, 32 and expands for how on? What is the economic growth to a central like that to where is it pulling out of downtown Dallas? I don't know. I think Valley View has a better opportunity as far as land growth to.
That's going to be cool.
well, and I think too, if you look at it from a real estate perspective, we are a real estate show. If you look at it from a real estate perspective, how many transactions were happening close to the American Airlines Center? Not that many, right? There's not a ton of like single family residential homes close by to there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a 10-mile radius you get there, but
Right.
not specifically. It's more commercial development.
So it's not going to be a big hit, I don't think, on real estate in downtown Dallas. It's still super relevant in downtown Dallas. You've got all your big companies, businesses. There's so much still down there. Losing the Mavs and the Stars, not going to be a big real estate hit. But if you relocate that now to a Valley View area, to a Willow Bend area, now you do get a financial boost in real estate because closer to a bunch more residential properties. I think the overall impact on real estate is a great thing if and when these happen for the people that are close by to it, more so than the loss from moving from Dallas. I think the benefit outweighs the loss.
Yeah. And that specific corridor, I mean, if you're thinking about a southern border of Valley View at Preston and 635, and as it stretches up to Park and D&T, essentially, how do all of these residential neighborhoods benefit? The Dallas 75252 zip code and the North Dallas Richardson areas, and then that specific western south end of Plano. I think that's where a lot of people are probably going to be optimistic about it. Taxes. But
Right.
as values go up, you can't have, you can't have both of those things. So
Let me ask you this, Courtney, because you keep saying gross. If you were in that position, wouldn't you want to follow where people are moving to? If you've got all these big companies that are relocating to Dallas-Fort Worth, and they have been for years and continue to. AT&T just moved up north, right? So you got all these companies, and they were moving Plano, Frisco, Prosper, Salina, like all those areas. That's where your fan base is generally now going to. A lot of it is going to come from, so you want to make it more accessible.
Yeah, I mean, again, I am fans of these teams, and I see ultimately the business decision. It's just so it is hard to watch all this concrete and all this construction when we have arenas and we have stadiums, and it's hard. What are your closing thoughts? Anything?
Gib?
I mean, I don't know. How do we wrap up this conversation?
All of it, like, closing thoughts on like
I don't
good for
have
real
any
estate,
either.
bad for real estate. What do you think, generally speaking, are we going to see over the next 5 years? Right, it seems a long time, but as things start getting built, is there going to be hype that gets built up, and do we think we're going to see property value start increasing sooner than later if these things get pushed through and it's like confirmed this is where it's going to be, I can see a scenario where people start going, okay, like I'm going to sell now or buy now when it's at the, buy now on the cheaper end, sell now before it gets completely chaotic with roadworks and building and all that stuff, and cash out. Or if you're on the buy side, be like, oh, I'm going to get in soon because I know I'm going to want to go to those games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think it's healthy for real estate. I think the proximity to downtown Dallas has been such an outlier for people and what property valuation does. And I think, if anything, a move to Valley View area and a move to Willow Bend pulls a little bit of that desire and that valuation up here to the northern suburbs. And I think that's healthy. I don't think it's anything that downtown Dallas was saturated, but I think this gives us the first opportunity. These are early plans. They're not going to be completed until 5 years from now, but we know we're headed in that direction with northern suburbs of Dallas. And so therefore, I think it's just healthy for the market. Like we said, Collin County, if the Mavs and the Stars made a decision, chances were majority of their ticket holders were in Collin County. So it just makes sense for them to get closer to there. And so I think residential is going to be impacted by that in a positive way. Does that happen in the next 2 to 3 years? Debatable, but obviously you can be a little bit more optimistic about a plan before it's in place. And we know what the timeline is. It's 2031.
In my mind, this has I'm thinking of it in the same way that, people get excited when HEB is getting built close to them, or
Costco.
Exactly, right? To me, it feels like this has the potential to be that, but multiplied, right? To be even more of an impact. People get so excited. I've got a Costco building around me. This is so cool. And prices go up. It really does happen. Like, there is correlation. HEB, the prices go up, correlation. I think this has the potential to be that, but scaled.
Well, I think there's a unique perspective to have on all this, because both of these sites were at one point shopping malls.
Yeah.
And that is the direction that our economy is going.
Yep.
Not that it's like, ooh, everybody's heavily invested in sports, but it's like, how dead are shopping malls? I mean, North Park, I think, will reign supreme because it is one of a kind and people desire that experience when they go.
Yep.
However, I mean, if you rewound 10 years ago, y'all probably spoke highly of these two areas, specifically Willow Bend. It was still thriving until like 5 years ago. It had an Apple store, It's like people were betting on these areas, but physically shopping at malls.
Stonebriar still has a good number of people. We were up there not too long ago, and there's still a good chunk. It feels to me like North Park and Stonebriar far enough apart, both nice areas, both, they seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah.
Not what they once were, but just fine. But yeah, it is interesting to see that trend. I think one thing to remember too is like North Texas is just growing bigger, right? We're just expanding continually across all of North Texas. It's just becoming more decentralized. Like, there just isn't like a spot now where we would say this is the middle. It's like, no, it's vast, right? You think of like Houston and places like that, like it's vast. Like, it takes a long time to drive across from one side to the other. That's just the reality of North Texas. So I think it has a big opportunity to be massive for economic things and real estate over the coming years, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Head over to toddtramoniteteam.com if you want to search for homes. If you want to get a home valuation, you can do that there too. You can find all the info in the comments below. We will talk to you on the next one.